listening to the Fictioneers podcast.
Previously on Weave.
This is General Magnamos, retired knight of the Order of Philocrates, and one of the most renowned and decorated fighters in its history. I would like to extend an invitation to you and your colleagues to see a performance of an opera this coming Friday.
All of you are going to go shopping with me. I don't care how fancy you think your clothes are, they're not. And I'm going to help you with this.
Can you find someone?
I can certainly try. What do we have to work with?
Green skin, orange diamonds.
You see exactly who you're looking for, just chilling in the bath.
I'm going in.
Hello, everyone. You're listening to episode 7 of the Fictioneers podcast. I'm Clark, and this campaign, Weave, is the result of a collaborative world-building effort between all 6 of us, myself, and the players. Say hello, players.
Yes,
Chef. Oh, I said hi, Chef. Oh,
damn,
wow.
Mark.
Damn.
I'm just feeling very nice to the chef today.
If this is your first time listening to the podcast, hello. You should go listen to the Adventure Zone instead.
No. Specifically Amnesty.
With all of that out of the way, paid sponsorship by the McElroys out of the way, we return to the drama in Pontus Yafira, the city of bridges, to the residence of Ravana Lungse Ixal Kemal Tur, head of the Kalamkari Cultural Liaison in Pontus Yafira. And standing next to him as he bathes in a tub full of bubbles is Bon. He opens his eyes, Bon. He looks at you. Give me an insight check.
Which dice should I use today, gang? Should it be red or the swirly kind of blackened marble?
Oh, swirly for sure.
Ooh, swirly.
Yeah, honestly, this feels like a swirly roll.
Alright. Shout out to the 2 crew!
Oh no.
Help! Help! He starts yelling for help. He's like scrambling out of the bathtub and like he's trying to head to the bathroom door.
Can I go for a throat chop to shut him up real quick?
Yeah, give me an attack roll.
Okay. That's an 18 on that. So that is 18 plus 6 is... math is not mathing. 24?
If you spend a key point, this will succeed and you'll shut him up.
Sure. In one fluid motion with my back arm, I like close the door, and my other arm, I just right to the throat.
And he's looking at you and kind of like,
Quiet now. Catch your breath. I have questions to ask you. It would be smart not to waste it.
he's like looking around, like trying to find anything he can use to kind of get out of the situation. Looks at you.
Can I make a check to see what he can use in this situation?
There's nothing. This dude is naked on the floor of his bathroom.
Okay.
I did not know that the Curse Eaters were at the beck and call of the Hanuman.
This Curse Eater is Hanuman.
No, you have no family. You gave that up.
Indeed. Perhaps was a Hanuman is a better turn of phrase. But you mention the Hanuman. Where are they?
He looks at you like standing over him, and he gestures to you like, may I stand?
I shake my head no.
Look, there's rose oil in the cabinet there. There's water in the bath. Perform the cleansing ritual. I should not be talking to you like this.
Yes, you shouldn't, so you should hurry and answer my question.
I would be bound by my office to report this meeting should you not do that ritual. Points to the fact that he is fully naked. Both of us do not want this on record.
I'll kind of give him a sharp glance.
Very well.
Go. I cannot grab these supplies for you.
Where did you say the oil was?
And I'll go to grab it. I'll keep my eye on him though.
Third drawer, under the mirror. Yeah, there.
I uncork the bottle, pour it into the water, cork the bottle up again, let the fragrance waft in the room, cup it with all of my hands, and wash my face.
You can see that some of his orange diamond spots have started to streak. They're painted on.
Oh.
You would know that this is not uncommon practice for lower members of a house to paint these diamond spots on.
Gotcha. Embellish the pattern, basically.
Yeah, because, like, the high members of the house usually have a very distinct pattern. So, like, for House Ravana, having a bunch of uniform diamond spots is very important for, like, the image of seeming like you are the highest part of the house.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that for House Hanuman, kintsugi cracks are very important for, like, displaying identity.
Mm-hmm.
And conforming, especially in a large house, one of the great houses, such as Ravana, is very, very important. He grabs a towel and sits down. I just want to be clear. Need to confirm. I'm not cursed, right?
No.
Good. I do not believe I was, but I had to ask.
But it remains to see if you are yourself a curse to the Empire.
I'm here to serve the Empire.
Perhaps.
My predecessor, not so much. They were a curse upon the Empire.
My question. Answer it. What became of that fallen house?
Hanuman? Well, there are many Hanumans. Obviously, they are no longer a great house, although they will be recorded as such in the histories still. They have not betrayed the Empire's trust so much that they would be erased from its history. They did us a service, and the Emperor was kind enough to allow their names to remain on the records.
And its members?
Many places. The Hanumans themselves have been replaced by House Lungse. My mother's house is now a great house. And again, some have joined with Ravana, some Astarte, some have abandoned the name and work as scribes for the Emperor. Some have left the Empire entirely. I know there was an enclave of Hanumans in the City of Honor, the Seam Town, if you're not familiar. But perhaps you are looking for someone more specific?
Hanuman Seru Iltani Roya Ea.
That's your mother, yeah? That's out of character, sorry, yeah.
That's my sister, the second oldest after me.
She married into House Seguros, a cousin of mine.
He's Seguros?
Yeah. They're not a weaver family, but they do tend to the silkworms of Kalimkar. They're sort of part of...
The Weaver Moths?
Yeah, they tend to the weaver moths. They're a respectable house, but they're no real power in the Empire. Your sister will probably have a comfortable life, but her family will do nothing of note.
Hanuman Seru Nabuzaradana Mata Iltani Ea.
That's my mama.
He thinks a moment. Last I heard, Northeast Siknos Province, the island chain in the Karon district of the Keshal Zone. This is about at the exact opposite end of the Empire where you lived, because you lived near the capital.
Yeah, I imagine Imran was like nestled in the mountains near the capital.
The capital is about a week's walking from where you grew up, which is close by Kalimkari standards. The Empire is massive and all-reaching. This is not close, even by Empire standards. This is, in fact, quite distant by any standard. It is not a very wealthy province. It is out of the way, politically unimportant, and socially unimportant to the Empire.
Basically, like, almost exile. Yeah.
It's exile all in but name, such that your family can still save face in the eyes of the rest of the imperial families.
You seem to be keeping close tabs on this, on them.
I kind of eye him suspiciously.
I do not know that the House Ravana had such eyes.
Samat Ur was interested, wanted to know where your house ended up. It's important to keep eyes on your enemies. And you would know that name to be the name of the head of House Ravana, which is Ravana Suguros Laurel Samat Ur. He's a careful man.
Since you seem to know so much, you know the rest of my questions. The others. Anaya, Tahara, Ebra, where are they?
I believe they also relocated to the Karon district in the Keshal Zone.
So Roy is the only one that got out, eh?
Hanuman is still Sozan. There is hope for them.
Who rules Imran?
House Lungse. It was to be Ravana, but Simat Ur refused.
Smart.
Saw it as not honoring the legacy of the fallen house. It was a source of disagreement between myself and him.
You wanted Imran, yes?
I did, but then the former head of the liaison here was unfortunately cursed and was excised.
As he should have been. And as for Ponticifera, you want it too, like Imran? My cousin is here, and I'm no fool. I can speak Kalamkar, I hear things.
It is very important that Pontus Fiera does not impede on the Empire's borders. That is the order I've been given. That is the order I shall deliver. Pontus Fiera may think it is a big dog, but we believe dogs must be trained. Do you know why dogs are the best pet?
I prefer cats. I'll talk to you later. I'm done with this conversation.
Holy shit.
Fuck your villain monologue.
I have questions for you.
And what are those?
What do you know of Magnamos?
I know nothing of Magnamos.
Are you sure?
Yes. Barely register the name. Is that the big goat man?
And yet you talked to him so informally earlier.
Your eyes need checking. I barely talked to him. My friend, the tall goat with the shaved horns, they talked to him. I was standing maybe a couple feet next to them. You need ears as well as eyes, Ravana. Pay attention.
That man is a threat to the Empire. What do you know about him?
Like I said, I know nothing of him. He is a powerful warrior who was able to part the water. I can see he's dangerous.
If you had seen him when I had 10 years ago, you would feel the same way.
If you know so much about him, why are you asking me the questions, eh?
What does he want? He's retired. I want you to tell me what he is planning. Because if I can know what the general is planning, then I can make sure that Pontus Eufira will fall in line. I don't want bloodshed. Truly do not. He does.
And your other questions, then?
Do you know why Nakata decided to rather hastily rid my old predecessor? He say anything? Have you spoken to him?
I have not seen him since that day.
Oh, so you do know him personally, and I thought that was just a rumor.
Is that it, then?
Would you die to save the Empire?
It is my duty.
Good. We'll have a package for you soon. It'll be a way to stay in touch. No cleansing ritual required.
Very well.
Do you have any other questions of me?
No, but do not let your ambition consume you, Ravana. You do not want me to come back here, lest you end up like your predecessor.
Before you leave, he says, "Now, bow to your superior."
I give him the most tiniest, almost imperceptible bow.
He grabs like a towel from the rack, starts cleaning himself up as you...
Yeah, I just jump down.
You just jump down into the canal, and I think you just land in the water in complete silence.
Legs together like a spear, just right into the water.
Yeah, barely registers as like a plop.
All right, that was enlightening. Thank you.
Bond, you walk back through the second ward, back to the boarding house. The warm mural of the skull of Cradulus welcomes you back into Alkanoe's home. I mean, it's pretty fucking late. It's like 11 or 12. Is anyone else up?
Oh, Fee is definitely like sitting at the main table with the blueprints in front of her, head in hand, staring down, trying to parse fucking any of this.
I did not expect anyone else to be awake.
Oh, hey, Bon. Why, a party? No, you don't seem like a party person. What's up?
I was window shopping. That's a joke only for me.
Fee gives you a very confused look of like, I did not think you would be into that, and then you say it's a joke, and she looks even more fucking confused. She's like looking down, and she's like, have I been working on this too long?
If you were there, that would have killed.
Genevieve sleepily coming out of the kitchen, going, I didn't know that you had a sense of humor, Bon.
It's only for me, eh? Why the two of you still awake?
I point at the blueprints. I'm trying to make head or tails of this.
Looks like a piece of paper with some drawings on it. I figured it out. That's another one of those jokes.
Fee rolls her eyes but smiles and says, thanks, Mon. Helpful.
Yes, I try.
This is just the thing with sick notions. We get less sleep in the summer and more sleep in the winter. This is about when I go to bed now, so I was just getting myself a nice glass of water before we're going to get settled in.
I'll probably do the same myself. I have a lot to think about.
Clearly, you were out late doing something.
Window shopping, huh? That's what it's called, a callback. Yes, I kind of look at the two of these two. No, I don't think I talked to you two about this. I talked to someone else about this.
Fair enough.
Well, I hope that your window shopping was conclusive, because tomorrow we're actually going shopping. The opera is in 2 days, and we need to make sure that if there are any alterations to be made for garments, that the tailor has enough time for a rush order.
Oh yes, opera, how exciting. Alright, I'm going to bed.
Genevieve nods and sleepily makes her way up the stairs.
Good night.
Good night, Fee. Do not lose your head over scribbles on paper, yes?
Oh, I might lose my head over it one way or the other, but thank you.
I will head into my room and think about what I have learned. He's probably going to spend like another hour just like mulling over thoughts, right?
What are the thoughts Bon is mulling over before he calls it in?
Well, he's overjoyed that the news is they're not dead, so they're still out there, so he's very happy about that. He is kind of miffed about his family being basically in exile, but at least they're alive. He's curious about the situation with his sister. He's very curious about that situation, and seeing as she's the only one that's not in that Charon district. His main thought is probably, how's Roya doing? It's been so long, what does she even look like these days? You know, is she happy? I don't know. I should go see her, but I barely even know anything about House Seguros. I don't know where to start, you know, that kind of thing. So he's probably focused on his sister. But there's creeping thoughts of Nakara in the back of his head. He tries not to think about it too much, but as soon as he starts thinking about that day, he starts to spiral a little bit when he remembers the flames, right, and his father.
Yeah, and to make it very clear, the implication of that conversation was that Nakara killed the last head of the Calamcarian cultural liaison in Pontus Yafira.
Yes, which is information I am now privy to. So he was here.
And has Bon thought at all about what he heard in the incursion? Specifically talking about the words of your father you heard.
What were the words of my father?
I'm headed to the capital. I'll be back in a week.
Oh, right. He's definitely, now he's starting to click that, right? And he's like, what did they not want my father to go to the capital for? And the fact that Ravana so easily and quickly mentioned Nakara knows that he has a feeling that that's connected now. He's like made that link in his mind. Like Ravana immediately was like, hey, Nakara. I was like, wait a minute. How do you know about that? Rumors? I don't know. And they're talking about eyes and ears everywhere.
Give me an insight check.
10 on the die plus 6 for 16.
Having spent enough time in the incursion, you know that the nature of that incursion was in some way related to lies. The thing you heard your father say was in some way a lie.
I see what you're saying. So he wasn't headed to the capital then.
One interpretation of that.
Where is he going? More questions.
We cut to the morning. The boarding house is bustling with activity. Everyone is getting ready just for kind of a nice day. The sun is shining through. Pontus Yafira's like late summer weather is usually, with the exception of perhaps our fun incursion weather, very, very nice. And today is no exception. And we're about to have a very important scene, which is we're about to go shopping for clothes.
Just to take care of a little bit of business before we get to the fun fashion stuff, I do owe you 2 rolls of my depletion die.
You do.
So here goes the first one. The DC is 2 because it reset last time. That's a 3.
Barely.
Now the DC is 3. That's a 6. It resets.
In the morning, since we've decided that Bon and Hippodamo do wake up pretty early, I'm going to want to kind of catch Hippodamo early.
Yeah, depending on how early it is. I'm either in the backyard working out or in the kitchen.
I'll find you working out. I feel like that'll be better.
There's like a little balcony you can stand out on and like look down a canal and like, look at the morning sun.
I have a question. Do Agrecians sweat or do they pant?
Oh, yeah, because they're goats.
The actual answer to this is that Agresians can choose which one they want because they basically manipulate their bodies, right? Some Agresians kind of favor a more like furry sort of deal going on, which I think Hippodamo does.
Yes.
Some like to go for more like the marbled Greek statue kind of thing. It's a mix. Most of them probably don't because they just don't have that level of control over the form of their bodies. But people like, for example, General Magnamos, they can just be like, yeah, I kind of want my horns to be curled today, and they just will be.
I think the answer to the question for Hippodamo specifically is he sweats. He trained for many, many years to be able to manipulate his body in that way, and it makes sense to have the more efficient method of wicking away heat for somebody who's expecting to be doing a lot of physical activity.
And especially if you're wearing like a helmet or any sort of headpiece, panting would like get in the way of that for sure. So it's probably common practice for warriors to sweat. Unless you're like a barbarian, and then you kind of want to pant in a battle, because I feel like that was like really cool.
Yeah,
you're like, you know what I mean? That'd be sick.
That's the intimidation factor right there.
That'd be sick. There are definitely some like Grecian berserkers that like choose to pant in battle just because it's cooler.
Goats also pant and sweat.
They do.
So, yes.
Huh. Neat.
Oh, that's serendipitous.
But here's the important question, which is how do goats wear pants? Do they wear them?
Hippodamo does not wear pants. Hippodamo wears skirts.
Even though they wear shorts, you said?
No, skirts. It's like a kilt skirt situation.
Hippodamo wears booty shorts.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're so right, Clark.
Yeah.
Hippodamo's ass is hanging out of some sport shirt.
Juicy on the ass.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You know it.
I mean, that's clearly Hippodamo's workout outfit, right? Is like tight shirt and booty shorts.
Hippodamo would be used to, like, working out in the nude. He actually is wearing clothes because that's sort of not a cultural thing here. We're drawing from, Greek philosophers and athletes here. He's used to, like, wrestling other people in the nude.
Yeah, it's like pancration. They would do it basically in the nude. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is so naked today.
There's a lot of nudity in this show.
Hippodamo's out somewhere on the balcony practicing with just like a practice polearm, right? It's basically just a weighted haft.
Bon will kind of walk off, kind of see you training, kind of join you, kind of adjacent training, right? Doing some kata, some motions.
Morning.
Morning. I have a question, Hippodamo.
I hope I have an answer.
When push comes to shove, and we know it's going to happen, which side will you choose?
I think you know the answer to that. If for no other reason than I owe General Magnamos now 2 great debts. I gather we are somewhat alike. Not perhaps the best loved by our respective peoples and their governments, but I have sworn to protect mine, and I consider that to still bind me even in my exile.
I spoke to someone last night that let me peer into the mind of the Empire a little bit. They are not enthused about the presence of your general.
No, I should say they wouldn't be. He is one of the greatest generals that the Republican kingdoms ever turned out. He led many successful campaigns against your people. I'm hoping to glean some more of what the general intends when we talk to him at the opera. I assume he invited us all there in order to speak about the goings-on.
I am surprised he invited me there, to be honest.
The general, by definition, is among the wisest of us. One does not ascend to such a position without trust being laid in them, of them being correct at all times. If the general wishes you there, it is because he has some purpose for you. My hope is that his purpose is to gather some form of coalition and resolve all of this with as little disruption to Pontus Euphira as possible. It cannot be lost on you that this place is important to us Agresians, though it is not a part of the kingdoms.
And why not?
It is his own sovereign state, as far as we are concerned. It was founded separate from the kingdoms, though by an Agresian, and it has remained so by his wishes.
I still find it strange that the general is here now.
Retired.
Is that retired, yes?
One may be called to act, even when one is not, perhaps, bound to do so.
Perhaps he has been called to act in Pontus Yfera. You see my point here?
I do.
This place is fragile. I do not think that your Magnamos wants the best for Pontus Yfera. I think the general wants the best for his nation. I think our group has been putting too much faith in the third faction or third power of Pontus Yfera. When push comes to shove, I think the only two sides to choose from will be Kalamkar and whoever decides to stand against it. Because I don't think Pontus Yfera is going to be much help protecting itself from Kalamkar. Grima will be forced to intervene or lose the territory.
There, I think I'm inclined to agree with you. If Pontus Yfera wishes to remain an independent state, it will likely have to become...
I don't think an independence is in its future.
Oh, I think it can maintain a semblance of it, be offered protection and arms by some greater power in exchange for use of its territory. Surely, the Kalamkari Empire has such holdings, outside of its borders nominally, but so reliant on the Empire itself that it may as well be a member state.
Yes, but in a few years, those disappear and just become an extension of Kalamkar, my friend.
Things move slower in the kingdoms, but we shall see. I gather by where your line of questioning is going that you perhaps would prefer Pontus Yfera to remain neutral.
I don't know, to be honest. Hippodombo, I'm trying to form that opinion now. I see benefits in all sides.
Let's talk to the general. Can be no harm in gathering information. And then there's a certain book I think we ought to consult.
Very well.
Out of curiosity, do either of you look up while you are doing your exercising and chatting?
Nobody ever looks up. If you're flying around, I do not see you.
Yeah, we don't look up.
Oh, Genevieve has been watching and listening from, the roof for this entire conversation.
Unless you make any noise or anything, yeah, there's no reason to look up.
Just for the fun of it, one of her feathers floats down between the two of you.
Strange, that looks sort of like Genevieve's feathers.
Spying little crow.
And I'll kind of whip around and look for them.
She kind of laughs and alights from the roof and glides down.
I don't like that one very much.
You're brave saying that to the face of a sick notion. Very proud people.
Yes, I know.
To a fault.
Well then, what did you hear?
Oh, all of it. I was watching your morning routines when Bon joined.
And very well, then where do you stand? What do you think? If you're so keen.
Genevieve kind of thinks for a moment, before saying, I definitely think that gathering more information is the right play. Being invited to the opera by this general is certainly a momentous opportunity for information gathering. In the long term, I do think it will come down to one of the two. Perhaps, with a bit of luck, Pontus Yfera would be able to remain an independent city, perhaps. It could petition to one of the cantons as a representative, but I doubt they will ever take that, and with the speed of bureaucracy that happens within the cantons, I doubt that anything would come of that.
Yes, one must never rely on the Signosian cantons for speedy assistance.
No, or assistance outside of the cantons in general. There are a few of us who do like to travel and like to put our beaks in business. So to say, I don't actually have a beak. But as a whole, Signosians tend to be rather... lazy isn't the right word. Perhaps, steadfast in their ways.
Indeed.
Well, one way or another, we'll know significantly more after the evening's events. Genevieve, actually, it's good that you're here. I may need your help gaining access to the knowledge we require.
I figured. I heard you mention a book. I dropped a feather, so that way one of you would look up. And neither of you did.
No one ever looks up.
With a Signosian around, you should always be looking up.
I'm beginning to learn that.
Genevieve gives you a very wide smile.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's the matter, Bon? The first time you saw me, you were looking up.
Eavesdropping is a bad habit.
Yes, but not one I intend to break.
I'll keep that in mind.
Now then, what book?
I'll tell you about it later. It's a journal, written by the founder of Pontus Yfera. It may contain some information or political ammunition in order to argue for the city's neutrality. The Librarians are rather cagey about it.
Oh, well, I have a bit of influence. I shouldn't say with librarians. That isn't true. I have influence with academia, though. And, of course, the noble circles here. I'm sure I'd be able to get my hands on it.
Good. Then I will fill you in on the morrow. We've got a busy day ahead of us.
Indeed. Both of you clean up once you're done. As much as I'm enjoying this, and she gestures to both of you, I do need you to be not sweaty when we go to try on clothing. And with that, she turns and walks away.
Well, it is a good talk, Hippodamo.
Agreed. It's nice to have a friend among your people, for once in my life.
For what it's worth, I don't want to fight you.
I don't want to fight you either. I don't want to fight anyone. If it comes down to it, I would much rather find a diplomatic solution to all of this.
Yes, wouldn't that be nice?
All right, so we're going clothes shopping from what I understand.
Yes.
Hey, finally.
Before we go shopping, I am going to meditate a little bit and just attempt to tone down how much I sweat. And maybe, if I can, try to change the odor to something more floral.
Give me a wisdom check.
Okay. A 2.
All right. What is a really nice smell that Hippodamo hates?
I'm gonna say Hippodamo really hates the smell of lavender.
Yeah, Hippodamo, your sweat smells like lavender now.
Well, this is not wrong, but not what I wanted. I'm out of shape.
Genevieve / Zelda, what kind of tailor are you going to? Are you going to like a more Psychnosian tailor, or are you going to like a Pontus Euphiran tailor who kind of deals in that style?
I think sometime in the past couple of days, Genevieve did do some quote-unquote window shopping to find a tailor who, like, there's no nonsense, right? Like, she walked into a Psychnosian tailor, is this younger Psychnosian woman, you know, saying, oh, hello, and her turning around and going, not interested. We get a couple of these before she finally finds this, not elderly gentleman, but I think definitely getting up there in age. She walks in, how long have you been a tailor? Oh, you know, about 3-4 decades. Done. I'll be back in a few days with some friends for a rush order.
Yeah, and he's like, wait a minute, my name, you didn't even, and you just walk out.
Yep. Oh, but I would have left a handful of Tron on the table as like an advance payment, right?
Yeah, Genevieve, you take everyone to Giswaldo's garments, which is...
Genevieve says to the party, now, find something that you like that speaks to you as a style in terms of formal garment. I will get you in the right direction, but I want to know your preferences.
Preferences?
Yes, for garments, for fashion, for stylistic choices. Come on, Arlo. Surely you know about stylistic choices.
Why would you think that I know anything about stylistic choices?
I've known Arlo for a year. All he wears is breeches and the same tunic.
And my trusty poncho, obviously.
Right, okay, so practical clothing for you.
You wash the tunic, right? It's not like the same tunic.
Of course.
But we're losing the ponchos.
Oh,
No, what? That's... I don't think you understand Pontus Euphiran fashion.
You're going to tell me if you want a suit or a dress, and then I am going to help you find the right garment. Arlo, suit or dress?
Do I have to wear pants?
You can tell me now.
Suit, but preferably with a little bit more room on the bottom.
Okay, Hippodamo.
Well, I suppose this is formal, so blacks and dark colors. I prefer earth tones, and of course I'll need a dress kilt.
Thank you for giving me a fantastic answer.
I mean, I have dress clothes, you just won't let me wear them, so I would like that, but fancier, please.
I don't care, just something with a bunch of pockets.
You're not Soren, Bon?
Bon is already looking through the racks of clothing, kind of like separated from the group, is already looking. I have been to an opera before, I do not need your help.
Excellent, very well. We get like the montage style of Genevieve is like helping Arlo and Fee find some good clothes, points Hippodamo in the right direction for earth tones of the style, right? Arlo stepping out of a changing room and Genevieve just like shaking her head and pointing back into the changing room.
Somehow I end up with just so many ruffles.
So Bond decides on some nice robes, actually, that have that Eastern kind of diagonal slit in the front. Has like gold trim on it. It's mostly like obsidian black. It's kind of got a brocade, so it's the silk patterns into it. He's got no sleeves on, so his forearms are free. Nice boots, and I would say probably like more jewelry than you would expect, because we did talk about how Kalamkari tend to accessorize a lot to complement our gold patterns. So he's got some like gold rings, some like armbands to kind of brighten up the outfit a little bit. Maybe some additional earrings as well. Some kind of like dangly boys.
Instead of a poncho, it'll go with a cape. It's different, functionally, and it'll be draped over his shoulders. It's kind of a rich, dark navy blue color with a really nice contrast lining on the inside that's got some, like a star pattern. It's an ivory color with a very subtle, same color, same fabric, but woven in a different way so that the stars still stand out. And then he's got on a pair of matching, like, cream breeches and a nice white shirt and a nice tailored vest.
Oh, and I forgot to mention a nice crimson sash that kind of ties the robe.
What about Fee?
Fee ends up with a suit. The pants in the suit are purple. The shirt is blue. And there are matching blue bits of metal twine that go through the suit that enchant it against her heat and against her fire hair so it doesn't get burned. And on the inside of the suit jacket and on like a little cummerbund looking belt, there are tons of fucking pockets for her to store all her little knickknacks and gadgets.
Any science vials on view?
Oh yeah, but inside the jacket. Genevieve would not allow it to be outside.
Hippodama?
Hippodama ends up with essentially a dress kilt and jacket. The top of a three-piece suit, but then instead of pants, basically a kilt of a similar fabric and style. It's all, I think, almost black, but it's really a very dark green. The jacket, the vest, and the kilt are all, velvet.
I will reveal Genevieve's clothes on the actual opera day. Clark, how much Tron is this?
Roll 2d6.
I got a 6.
We're gonna say that's 120 Tron.
Alright.
Giswaldo is like a very kind of humble dude. He kind of like walks out with all these clothes at the end of the day. All right, I got all these done real quick. Pretty easy. Yours is gonna take about an extra day. It's rather ornate. I'm not too familiar with the Psychnosian fashions, but I should be done. It's been kind of fun to work on something that doesn't really come around here much. I'm curious, why didn't you go to a Psychnosian tailor? I mean, they're usually better at this rush job thing anyways.
Because you have experience.
Oh, thank you.
The only Psychnosian tailor in Ponticifera just moved here last year. And you said you have multiple decades of experience. And quite frankly, given my wide selection of body types here, I figured the experience would serve us well.
Oh, good. Well, all right. Why don't you give everybody my business card? And also, all the liners got Giswaldo's garments kind of sewn in if people want to show that off. I think we're going to fast forward to the night of the opera unless people want to do stuff in between now and then.
Oh, heck yeah, it's opera time, bitch.
I'm expecting some beautiful dumb lyrics, as all operas have.
Oh, there are some bad lyrics, trust me, because I wrote them.
What does the opera house look like?
The opera house is this very old style, a Grecian style building. It's got frescoes on the inside. The outside has some very, why am I blanking on this? Ceramic beads in like paste and then on a wall. Historians love these things.
Mosaics?
Yes, mosaics, thank you.
I'm a historian, I love those things.
Yeah. You're a historian. You love those, right?
I love those!
The Grand Opera House of Ponticifera is like just across the street from the large statue of Crotylus that's in the middle of Founders Square. In many ways, it is the social hub of the elite in the city. Everyone around you is dressed to the fucking nines. I think all of you except for Genevieve are out in front. You can see there's a lot of Kalamkari walking through. There's a lot of city officials. There's like a poster for the name of this opera. Is like there's actually several of these posters dotted throughout the exterior of the opera house. The name of this opera is The Birth of Fraternity. And what it seems to be is the origin story of Kalamkar, with music by Arlen Schlock and libretto by Nils Alcock.
Birth of Fraternity has some pretty concerning illusions.
I'm sure it's fine.
What is our group talking about as we're like sitting in front of the opera house? They're still waiting to open the doors. You're able to get your tickets from will call pretty easily. They were under Hippodama's name.
What do we suppose this is going to be? Are we taking a favorable view of the Calamcari Empire, or...?
It would be foolish to have this play here and not have a decent view of the Empire.
You think?
If this was negative, I don't think they'd be okay with it playing here.
Is it going to be in Calamcari? Are they going to have subtitles?
Yes, there's usually someone standing there with cards.
Yes, they'll have a subtitle made. Yes, a illusion wizard that can write the script in the air.
Fancy.
Genevieve, what does your grand entrance look like?
There is definitely some sort of like magic involved as she just appears in the crowd. There's a large puff of these shimmering feathers as she appears in this blue and gold dress with a lot of interesting patterns that look like a knotwork. And it's got fringe on the bottom because it's based on flapper fashion. The piece that she had commissioned was a cloak that hangs on her shoulders, but also is connected to like this large collar that comes up from her shoulders, up her neck, and then plumes outwards from that point, and there's a ton of feathers on it. And she appears and walks over to the group and does a little curtsy to everyone.
You look stunning. Your outfit kind of matches Bon. You two would look good together.
That's just a poncho with a slit in the front. Why did you not let us wear our ponchos? What is this?
Well, I guess there's a difference between a cape and a poncho. I didn't know of this. Cape's fine, ponchos isn't.
Hen, this is only my outside garment.
Well, can my poncho be my outside garment then?
No, because your poncho is filthy and not nearly as finely decorated as
This
this.
is an outrage.
You can call it whatever you want, dear.
You look lovely.
Thank you. And Genevieve does have, like, a fair amount of colorful makeup on as well.
You should not sit next to me. I will light your dress on fire.
Yes, probably.
Genevieve looks and says, noted.
Not purposefully. It looks very flammable.
Well, the dress itself isn't flammable, but the cloak and the collar piece here, yes, very flammable. Perhaps if we need a diversion at any point, I'll throw my cloak at you.
I guess technically that would work, but please don't.
Genevieve does not stay for the answer. She goes to get her ticket from Will Call.
Well, actually, Hippodama has your ticket. See, Hippodama will just give you your ticket, and
I still walk over to Will Call to cut off fee and then come back for my ticket.
the doors open, people start funneling in. The interior of the opera house is a surprising contrast. Very austere, simple, direct. Not necessarily Calamcari, but definitely not a Grecian either. It looks completely new, refurbished. It still has like new carpet smell. Very plush reds. All of the detail, if there is any detail, is subdued. It's a slightly darker red on top of this surface that is a traditional cityscape, but just done in red, so it doesn't like stand out too much. The walls themselves are like, there's a little variation in like the paint color. Everything here is about subtlety, and nothing here is about large, big, and loud, which would be more a Grecian, at least traditional old Grecian. This is very clearly a new renovation. You are all able to find your way to the box seats where you have been invited to sit.
Are there any Kipsalian workers that are still around cleaning anything up?
Now, these renovations were definitely finished on time. Nothing needs to be touched up. They were very expensive.
Got it.
You see General Magnimos. There are several knights of the Order of Philocrates. Bon, as you get ready to enter the opera house, someone at the door stops you and says, "Sorry, no weapons inside."
Fine. I take my dagger and
Where do I hand this?
Points to the braid.
that's what the sash is over.
Actually, then I'm going to give them a perception check to notice it.
I'm gonna say, no, you're not. I'm gonna use one of my portent dice and make the die a 6.
Yeah, they don't notice it. Damn.
But I will let them take my knife.
They coat check it.
Do they see they have my darts in my boot?
In your boot? No, fuck no. Did anyone else try to smuggle in weapons now that I think about it?
Nope.
I am unarmed.
Oh, I don't need them.
Okay, great. Magnamos is sitting there. While a Cycnosian might cater their look and be very detail-oriented, he's got this salt and pepper thing going on. He's in a very casual pose. His clothing isn't super tailored. It's loose-fitting, but it still seems like a very intentional choice. He's freshly bathed, all that, but the way in which he does it, it appears as if that is just how naturally he is. His horns are now much more curled up. They have some more casual jewelry in them. The other members of the Order of Philocrates, you wouldn't recognize any of these people, Hippodamo. They're all young initiates. They're all in their traditional guise. Welcome. It's good to see all of you. Please sit. And he turns to the initiates behind them. Would you mind just watching the curtain? Myself and my friends enjoy the evening. Of course, I will get you tickets to the next show. And they all silently nod, give you a gander, Hippodamo, as they walk out. Tell me, were any of you able to get a program?
Genevieve presents one.
Oh, excellent. So tell me, what do you know about the composer and librettist?
What do I know about the composing librettist, Clark?
Anyone who is familiar with Arc can roll me a history check.
I've been in this world.
I got a 16.
I'm on a 14.
I would say, Hippodamo, you would probably know Nils Alcock, but not Arlen Schlock. Genevieve, you know both. Schlock is a composer of Kalamkari descent living in honor, and he writes a lot of crossover music that expresses his deep interest in the cultural traditions of Kalamkar, but also sort of as his experience as quasi and Curzon-touched person living in a city. Nils Alcock, both of you would know, is a librettist from Cycnosia. They briefly attended the Divinatorium before dropping out to pursue writing. Their great work was a 7-day-long opera libretto about the early life of Cyknos.
Okay. I think that, for the sake of pacing, Genevieve conveys all of that, but I'm not going to say all of that.
Yeah. Genevieve, you actually notice a very familiar name on this playbill.
Oh.
It's the Cycnosian Players.
Oh, is Renee here?
Yeah, Renee is listed as a member of the Cycnosian Players.
Genevieve's looking over the playbill and says, "Oh, one of my sisters is actually here."
No, 2 of them.
Really?
Yes, she is the oldest of the triplets. Her name is Renee. She has been with the Cycnosian Grand Opera Company for a little under a decade now. I'll have to say hello afterwards.
That's impressive.
Yes, all of the triplets have done something quite incredible with the arts.
That's amazing, yeah. Imagine. Must be really nice having siblings who do things.
I mean, if it's any consolation, I'm that sibling who just kind of does fuck all.
Yeah, well,
So, tell me, Hippodama, my history's a bit rusty. What was the first teaching of the Muses?
Keep the balance, of course. The most important thing, from which all the rest of our world is defined.
Yes, I was wondering, was that what you had in mind?
I have always tried to keep the teachings of the Muses in my heart.
So, you believe your reporting of that death was keeping the balance in mind?
Fee sits up.
I believe that death is a very delicate part of an even more delicate situation, and that should, say, certain information pertaining to it have been revealed inequitably, things here could have boiled over very rapidly.
It was a difficult call.
It was. I'm still unconvinced as to whether I had the right of it. I did not have as much time to act as I had hoped.
Epistemic humility. It's a virtue. So, was that your only reason for perhaps glossing over some details?
It was not.
That's what I appreciated about you when you were with the Order. You always thought about things from multiple angles.
We always have multiple duties, do we not?
So, you were doing your duty to perhaps the balance, perhaps Agrima, perhaps others in your care?
That is the short of it, yes. I owed it to someone to allow them to decide which details they wish to offer.
Tell me, do you think the Gilded Hand are good people? Looks pointedly at Arlo.
I think the Gilded Hand are acting, as most people do, in their own best interests. I think that comes with a smattering of differences. Arlo here, I have known for a year. He has proven himself stalwart throughout that time. The leaders here, I don't get the sense that they're bad people. I get the sense that they are working in the margins where they have power, that they are vying for power with each other, and that perhaps they would be willing to do certain things which perhaps are not so scrupulous in pursuit of that. I don't actually know what their end goals are, other than furthering their own cause. I have yet to see them directly take action in a manner which is particularly unsavory, but I should not believe it beneath them. I should say, I am unsure as to their relationship with the Calamcari delegation. Whether this is all more mercenary or if they share a certain amount of philosophy with one another. That is unclear to me.
He nods. And, Mr. Rainborn,
That's me, yes.
how's the recruitment going? I saw the posters around town. Want to make some light conversation as well.
Well, we expect it to be a fruitful recruitment. A lovely new campaign we've got. New artist. Do you like it?
I thought the technique left a little bit to be desired, but I thought they had real vision. You can give me an insight check, Arlo.
I suppose I will. Oh, okay. 12.
He seems to mean that. He's not saying that this person's like a great artist, but he is not ragging on them because he thinks this person has room to improve, and this was just a bad painting that they did.
Interesting. Right, yeah. I'll make a note of it for the next campaign. Do you, happen to know anybody who needs a job?
Well, actually, I have a couple of, quite a few students actually working at my villa right now.
Oh.
I suppose I could make some connections for you. After I retired, I became much more interested in art. This is a little embarrassing, but I had a realization. The muses, they spoke to me, and I realized I'd been valuing some of the wrong things. I wanted to... Mastery is great, but creation is better. I realized perhaps I should make something, and so I began learning art, and I have been a student of art for the past 8 years or so, and helping those who would make art make their own art.
Amen to that.
That's noble, yes. Arlo's just kind of nodding along. Strange question, maybe, but you said the muses spoke to you. Like, actually? Literally?
All of you can give me a history check.
Shout out to the 2 crew.
Not fantastic. That's a 7.
Dirty 20.
11.
With a 20, Fee, you would know... So, like, in the Kipsalian enclaves, occasionally there's a story of, like, this artificer was spoken to by Kipsalon. Or maybe a different muse, like maybe Sikanos might speak to them. Never muses plural. So the schools that give people the mandate of the muses or apply the mandate of the muses to like a ruler will oftentimes record or try to confirm that yes, a muse did in fact speak to this person. In the same way like clerics in a normal D&D campaign will speak to their god, the muses will occasionally speak to someone to give them guidance. Muses, plural, anomalous, perhaps even unheard of. You would know that on several occasions during his time in the Order of Philocrates, a muse or two did speak to Magnamos. That was recorded. That was at least proven by the Order of Philocrates. As far as the Order of Philocrates is concerned, that did happen. But it's about who you trust.
All of them spoke to you?
It came after the Calamcari campaigns. I was sitting on a battlefield. It was my final battle. We had just signed an agreement to redraw the borders. I looked out. There was this gorgeous mountain, and I heard the muses speak to me, and they said, "Make beautiful things, make things like that." And so, I set to it myself. There's nothing greater than beauty.
I do think that the act of creation is one of the holiest things we can do, but... and sort of gestures to her whole self being a Kipsalian. I'm a little biased.
I don't mean to be offensive in any way, but how did you know it was them? The muses, I mean.
When someone talks to you from somewhere else, you know.
I think I know the feeling. I get the strong sense it isn't the muses, though. Unless I've been very wrong for a long time.
He smiles. Everyone can give me an insight check.
Ooh, alright. That'll be a non-natural 20. Dirty 20 from me.
It's a 19.
I'm gonna retire this die. I got the 2 crew again.
Oh no, True Crew strikes again!
4 in a row?
Get a different die, Diego.
On a non-natural 20, Mark, you know this guy already knew.
Interesting.
This has not come as a surprise. More like an eyebrow slightly raises, like in a, oh, so you do talk about this sort of way, you know? He's trying to be very polite right now and not try to pry, but you are of interest to him in that he knows you talked to something else, and he needs to figure out what that is.
I think that's instantly converted into like a strange anxiety, where I just sort of stiffen, and what I had said aloud, which was like half supposed to be joking, is now, uh-oh, why does he know what this voice is in my head? And I darken and draw back into myself.
Turns back to Hippodamo. So, Hippodamo, what brings you to the city?
I have been here in search of direction for some time.
Crotylus?
I thought perhaps there were worse places to start.
You know, he inspired me too. He founded this beautiful city. I decided I wanted my act of great creation. Psychnosians call it a great work. I wanted to found my own order. That's really why I'm here. I want to understand how someone did it the right way.
I think if anyone had a chance of founding an order the right way, it would be you.
It gives you a very grateful nod. You think this opera will be any good?
I think, no matter what, it will be highly interesting.
What about you, Curse Eater?
I think the opera will be interesting.
We'll see. The lights in the room start to darken. These are all like Psychnosian make magical bulbs, which are really intricate little knots that produce light and can adjust with like a magical wave of the hand. Every light in Psychnosia is like this, by the way. It is iron, they sing to it, and it's woven together to create an enchantment. And this enchantment is just the light spell, but also you have a giant universal remote that kind of fucks with it. The orchestra starts to tune, and a very nice-looking Psychnosian man, dark feathers, dark hair, dark skin, very, very elegant, walks out into the pit. Then someone walks out in front of the curtain on stage. This is Petros Yafira. He is a very elegant salt and pepper human man in his mid-50s. He wears a very nice, leaning more towards like an Grecian style suit. He presses like a little monkey's fist knot to his throat, which is to amplify his voice with the thaumaturgy spell. Honorable citizens and guests of Pontus Yafira, welcome to the opening concert of the new operatic season. We're really looking forward to bringing you such wonderful things. In addition to being the seat of Crotylus, I am also on the board of directors of this lovely institution, and we have a very special evening for all of you. A new opera, The Birth of Fraternity by Arlen Schlock and Nils Alcock. I think a very poignant theme for this city in particular, much like Pontus Yafira is sort of intended as a bridge between cultures. The hero of this opera, Kipon, the first empress, is a bridge between herself and her peoples. I would also very much like to thank Gilbert Lariscol, the architect who redesigned the interior of this city, and the Kalamkari Cultural Liaison for funding this refurbishment project and allowing Mr. Lariscol the opportunity to study more in depth Kalamkari architecture in the capital of Kalamkar. I would also like to thank the Psychnosian players for coming out for this performance. We have an excellent, diverse cast, some of the best in the globe. This is the mark of the great things our city can accomplish, and I can only imagine as time goes on, this opera will bring in more young people as operas do, and will become a very real cultural force among the seam towns and even the world of weave. Anyways, without further ado, Jacob, you good to conduct? All right. everybody enjoy the show, goodbye. And he walks off stage. The lights completely dim. The orchestra comes in like very low with like fluttering bass clarinets as the opera begins. The curtains open. There's a massive glass backlit sphere illuminated by a dim blue light. 4 dancers cloaked in shadow pantomime spellcasting around this sphere. 1 Agrecian, 1 Kalamkari, 1 Kipsalian, and 1 Psychnosian. A swell in the music occurs as the sphere illuminates in its full patchwork glory the separate planes of existence, now mended together along golden seams, seem clearly visible as we see the globe of weave. The chorus comes in, and they start speaking. Here is the beginning of our world, but this opera is not about this moment. It's about what came after. This is about the creation of Kalamkar, one which has been woven into many tapestries of the Sozon weaver families for the past 3 millennia. The sphere lifts up and disappears as suddenly you see, like, this stage is massive. Dozens of Kalamkar people in very traditional regal wear are now standing at the back of the stage, and they walk forward. They start singing a song about how they're fucking killing each other just over and over again. This is the beginning of Act 1. They meet each other in the field of battle, and they start singing of former battles which they were on the same side, flying through the celestial heavens to smite their enemies. But now their lands reduced to rubble, they fight among themselves. These 2 are brothers. Both die at the end of the scene. There are about 8 more scenes in the first act that are just this. The opera is sort of like a patchwork of just jumping between all these different warlords, particularly House Ravana, House Turvan, House Aresh Kigal, House Seguros, and House Hanuman. And eventually the last lines, like, all the warlords are like singing about this need for unity, and for each one of them is like, yeah, we need a unifier, and it must be me, and this happens a bunch of different times, different warlords point to themselves. There's like a chorus line of warlords that grab hands and start doing like a little kick. They go to the front of the stage, but then behind them on a raised platform cloaked in shadow is a cloaked figure that stands above them, implying that this person would actually be the Emperor. Act 2, completely different. None of the characters from Act 1 show up in this act at all. There's a Kalamkari woman sitting on the street, a beggar. Her name is Kipan. She has no family name because there were no real castes at the time. Just violence. And she's fed up with all this horse shit that's happening around her. And she starts singing to the muses, demanding answers. Why have you damned us? Why have you damned me? The 4 muses then descend from the heavens on like little rope strings. Genevieve would recognize her sister is playing the part of Psychnosa.
Yeah, that's my sister.
She's the only one actually not on ropes. She's just flapping down. And then they're like, we did not damn you, but we allowed a new world to flourish. Our old worlds could never survive. And then Kipan demands back, but what does this world have that those lack? And the muses respond in unison, unity. And Kipan says, but I see no unity. All there is are the ravages of magic and the hell of violence of 1,000 different warlords. Ravana, Turvan, Aresh Kigal, Seguros, Hanuman, they will tear us apart. The muses interject, yes, but you can bring them together. You are learned, you are driven, you must. It is the nature of the weaving. And then the 4 muses just fuck off and ascend into heaven. And over the course of a rather lengthy Act 3, Kipan somehow amalgamates an army, but not through violence, just like speaking. Her and the warlords of the other 5 major houses meet on a final field of battle. And as they get prepared, Kipan enacts her final plan, which is to bind the great houses magically in service to her through her words, not force. As it seems to come to arms, she just sits down her weapons and sings this really long aria. O brethren from our land now lost, why must we fight? O brethren from our land now lost, shall we awaken at the end of this night? Or shall we slay each other until we exhaust what remains of our great planet that survived our plight? Or will our hunger for power destroy this? Keep the balance, those 4 heavenly muses said. yet there is no balance, only battles instead. And then they start, like, joining in. This is very obviously propaganda music. Very thinly veiled. Keep the balance. Hold hands with your brothers instead. Chase a better world instead. Keep the balance. Bond together and keep the balance, or remains of our world shall belong to the dead. And one by one, the leaders of the great houses come together. And then like the chorus starts singing about how she was the bridge between all of these different houses.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The final line of the Empire is praise to keep on, first Empress of Kalimkar, bridge between peoples.
Well, Kalimkari opera is as subtle as ever.
Yes, I feel like they missed out on several centuries of operatic advancement.
We would be here a much longer time then.
I'm surprised Alcock wrote this. It doesn't seem like their style. They're Psychnosian, after all.
I liked it, I think.
I think it was very revealing. I agree it's a little strange. I thought I'd seen another of Alcock's, and it wasn't quite so heavy-handed.
Well, I imagine the cultural liaison had something to do with that. It did do their typical kind of fragmentary thing, which was interesting for a bit, but it felt like the Schlock was, well, Schlock. And what about you, Miss Laverne?
I think it was a wonderful piece, regardless of interpretations. Yeah, sorry, I'm still processing it. And I'm also still thrilled that my sister is here. I haven't seen her in a few years.
I thought the name was familiar.
Yes, Renee Laverne, the next oldest sister.
She did the part of Psychnosia well. I thought she sang very beautifully.
Yes, she has always been very gifted with her voice, and I'm very happy to see that she is here, getting to perform.
Is this a travelling opera? I mean, is this go around and...
The Psychnosian players are known to travel for various operas.
But I mean, is this the first time this has been seen?
This is a world premiere, yes. I imagine this is the only place at least this version will be played.
Right, yeah, the bridge thing. I don't really understand art, but the bridge thing was a bit on the nose.
Curse Eater, what do you think?
Nothing I haven't seen before.
Didn't remind you of the operas you listened to growing up?
Like I said, nothing I haven't seen before. It's the same thing that Kalimkar has been trying to tell me since I was a little one.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
What of you,
You know, it would have been cute if it wasn't so insidious. 4.5 hours of propaganda? It's a bit much, don't you think?
Especially given the climate. I take it you've seen the pamphlets that are being passed around.
Oh, yes. I know it's a student, I just don't know who.
It is good, I suppose, for the young to be so passionately involved.
If you can just figure out who it is, I think this would go a long way towards understanding how we can solve this amicably.
I'll see what I can find out. We're headed to the university soon anyway.
For the reliquary?
Yes, I'm hoping that the journal will give us some direction, and perhaps some ammunition. There's an outcome I would prefer here, and I am hoping to sway things towards it.
Yes. We shouldn't dally. Let's head to the lobby. I have to talk to people after all. Can't be seen scheming.
Before we exit, I have a question for you, General.
Yes? This dude's fucking tall. He, gets down to your level just a little bit.
I would like to give you a Psychnosian reading. Doesn't have to be here, doesn't have to be now. But I would like to give you a reading.
Why?
Genevieve thinks for a second before she responds. I will be honest. I am curious to see what the sands reveal about you. And it would be a great honor for me to give you a reading.
That's it. What would he even fucking say about that?
Should I roll persuasion?
Yeah, roll persuasion.
I'm using my other divine portent. That's a natural 20 for a 24.
Damn.
Nice.
If anyone can read my future, they're welcome to try. But, much like any mortal, my fate is as gray as the sky I was born under.
This is not a matter of fate, Jen. This is a glimpse. Are you familiar with what my great work is as the youngest member of the Laverne House?
He's gonna roll a history check. Nope. No.
I am a member of the Collegium Divinatorum, graduated member, and my great work was building one of the largest divining towers in Signosia, where I saw great portent of the world to come. Anyone may read your fortune, but just as it would be an honor for me to read yours, it would be an honor for you to have your fortune read by me.
Jesus.
Oh, shit! So you truly think you understand the threads of weave?
To claim understanding of the threads of weave is to pass a dragon through a sewing needle. No, I do not understand the threads of weave. I let the threads of weave speak through me. I am a conduit of the fates themselves. I am not some cheap divination wizard that you would find at a marketplace. I am someone who kings come to ask for advice on war.
He looks at you. I'm done with war. Gives a little smirk, but I'm not done with beauty, and then he walks off.
Hey, let's go!
Wait, Magnimos, wait!
He waits for you to, walk with him, come on.
Sir, when you have a chance, perhaps later this week, I would like to ask of you some advice, but it's a complicated matter that we shouldn't speak of here.
Yes, why don't you and the rest of your friends come down to the villa anyways? Might be nice to get out of the city and clear your heads.
Thank you, sir. And Fee will fall back towards where Bon is.
Genevieve is looking quite smug.
I think what I want to do is I want to close out this episode, not with the characters, but following General Magnimos through the crowds. He dodges and weaves through people, and he walks right up to the Kalamkari delegation, straight to Turvan Seru Gorana Lorca Ea, extends a hand to her. Mistress Weaver, it's a pleasure to meet you. I look forward to seeing that beautiful tapestry of yours. And then he just walks away.
You've been listening to Fictioneers Presents Weave. This episode, A Night at the Opera, featured performances by Diego Camanguian as Bon, Julia Pisello Duga as Hippodamo, Marq Schuling as Arlo, TJ Martin as Fee, Zelda Migneron as Genevieve, and Clark Nichols as our loving and benevolent chef. This episode was produced by Zelda Migneron. It was edited by Julia Pisello Duga and sound designed and scored by TJ Martin, with additional music by Jacob Lashevsky. Weave features art by Marq Schuling. The YouTube version was edited by Zelda Migneron with art by Marq Schuling and Julia Pisello Duga. If you enjoyed this episode, leave us a like or a comment and subscribe to get notified when future episodes release. Share us online and rate us on iTunes or Spotify. Follow us on Tumblr, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Fictioneers Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on Weave.